everybody, CT Hippo. Instead of sitting inside and making YouTube videos, I'm going to head out here in a minute and try to get some footage of the new shipwreck, the tug at Lake Whatcom. But I did want to talk a little bit about the new underwater camera rig. I mentioned this in a previous video when we went to the Sawtooth last week sometime. Lost track on when it was. There were twice that I got the camera hung up and came uncomfortably close to losing it. And that would be bad. It's a known issue that with the design I was using before, with all those things hanging off of it, that was likely to get hung up. And so I've built a new variation, and I mentioned this earlier, but now you get to actually see it. So this is kind of the base of it. It's a cam light fixture. Put a 5/8 hole there and a 1-inch hole there. My drill bits didn't do terribly well. And then this is the core of it. This actually goes on to the can. You'll see that here in a minute. Then the eye nut here screws on. Camera mounts right here. You'll see that in a minute. The idea with this is, one, the can covers it, protects it, keeps from getting hung up on things. There's a whole lot fewer things that can get stuck on this than there is when you've got, GoPro mounts hanging out and whatnot. And the other thing here is that the force vector is straight up this bolt. This is a 5/8 inch galvanized bolt, safe working load of 560 pounds, I think it said on the label. And so whereas in the previous rigs, especially the first one with the plastic, well, that was actually the second. The plastic one, the force was transmitted, through an eye bolt to a plastic cap, through a piece of plastic pipe to another plastic cap to another eye bolt, and you had a lot of potential there for failure. This is never coming apart, and well, if it does, run to something that we really shouldn't be. So, let me show you how this all goes together. This is the same camera rig that I've been using forever. Camera passes down through the larger hole here. This is the 1-inch hole. The camera itself is about 3/4 inch in diameter, but I didn't have the right size drill bit. And I'm not sure if you can see this, but there's a plastic plug kind of a thing in here. That swivels into place. What this does is it keeps crud from getting caught in there, and it keeps the cord from getting abraded on these sharp edges. There's a screw here that it pivots on, and I just realized I don't have the right screwdriver for that, but anyway, and then a second one that holds it in place. So I'm just going to set that in there for the moment, and I'll have to get the right screwdriver and put it in completely after the video. Then the camera comes down. This is just a piece of scrap steel that I had, wrapped it in a loop, put a couple pop rivets in it, and then the hose clamp here. So the camera, as you can hopefully see, is marked. This is up as far as what the camera sees. It's not really critical, but I try to always put it so that is in some kind of an alignment with the rest of the rig. So it goes in there like that. Take my screwdriver. And tighten the clamp down a little bit. This is one of those things where 3 hands are really handy. So, just like that. It doesn't take a ton of torque. I don't know if it's possible to crush the camera, but I'd like to not find out, thank you. The eye nut comes off here. Upper washer comes off. Slides up like that. Washer goes on. Eye nut goes on. Tighten that down. And we're good to go. I have to put a carabiner on this. This screw link is not big enough to go around and tie in. Not a big deal. But yeah, this is the new camera rig. You can see there's a lot less to get hung up on. If you compare that with the rig that I used yesterday for the recovery effort, you know, you look at how much crap there is hanging off this that can get hung up versus how much there is hanging off this that can get hung up. So, time to take this puppy out and go look for a tugboat. Until then, we'll catch you next time.